Hi everyone! First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you so much for the response to that pumping video that I posted 2 years ago. The response has been unprecedented. I originally posted the video because at the time there was nothing like it, and now there's a lot of tutorials for day-to-day pumping tutorials on YouTube, which was fine. But back when I first started doing it, there was nothing using Freemies, so that's why I made the video. And the response has been amazing. Thank you to everybody who's emailed me, sharing their breastfeeding and pumping journey, because yeah, it's not easy. And we are, all the moms that are doing it, we're in this really special group where only we can understand each other. So it's really great to be a really, really small part of it. But I just wanted to post this video because it's a long overdue update of our life. Originally, when I posted the pumping video, I had intended to continue posting first time mom videos, like how to make baby food and anything that comes up with being a new mom, but life just got crazy. Do you hear that? Life just got really crazy in the past 2 years. So some big milestones in the past 2 years. My kid turned 1. That was exciting. And then he turned 2, and then he turned 3. So yeah, that was pretty incredible. By the way, toddlers, they are something else, these toddlers. Also in the past 2 years, we bought a house. So that was super exciting. We were living with my in-laws for a few years so that we had enough to save for our own house. So we finally closed, and that was super exciting. And we've been loving it, just being able to own, say that we own property and we get to call something our own, our home. Also, in the past 2 years, I got a new job. Remember in my pumping video, I was commuting about 40 minutes each way to work. Like, I know that doesn't sound like a far commute for a lot of people, but for me, being so sleep deprived, having a baby that was waking up so much during the night with the teething and all of that, the 40-minute commute was killer. It was really difficult, and I was kind of ready for something else. I was kind of yearning for something new. So I started taking online classes to kind of get out of the funk that I was in and just start learning something new. And then I saw a job posting closer to home and more in line with what I was learning with my online classes. So I ended up getting the job, and the commute was 10 minutes from our brand new house. So literally within the same week, we had closed on our house, and I got a job offer at a company that was 10 minutes from our house. You okay? So yeah, that had all glory to God. So new house, new job, all within the same week. Another thing that happened in the past 2 years, which I'm sure you can kind of tell from all the excess noise going on, is this guy. This guy came into our lives. Say hi. There. Good job. This is Theo, and he is almost 10 months. And he looks just like his big brother. But they're really different. They're complete opposites in things that they like and hitting their milestones and everything like that. If you really are curious to know what Big Brother's name is, you can check out a video on Emma Rogue TV. Yeah, check out Emma Rogue TV and you'll find out Big Brother's name. He makes a guest appearance in that video. But anyways, this is Theo. He is a wonderful addition to our family. The chillest baby, literally from the time he was born. And I was gonna go do a separate labor story with this one, but really, it doesn't have to be a long one, because long story short, If you watched my first video about my labor experience with kid number 1, it was very difficult. It was heavily medicated. It was induced. It took 3 days. It was very, very hard labor. So with Theo, I woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning feeling very, very, very mild contractions. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I guess labor's, maybe I'm going to give birth in in a few days, you know. But it was consistent contractions. And my husband was also, was telling me every few hours, like, maybe we should go to the hospital. But for me, I was like, no, but these contractions don't hurt. I remember what contractions feel like. And these aren't, these are fine. I can breathe through them. But after about 8 hours of consistent contractions, but it still wasn't bad. We were like, okay, let's just go to the hospital. Let's get checked. They're probably going to send us home. So we get to the hospital. The contractions started getting more intense, but still in my head, I was thinking, this is not even, I'll have the baby tomorrow, because compared to the contractions I had when I was induced, this was nothing. So we got to the hospital. Literally, we check in at 4. I get to my room at 4:10, and Theo was delivered at 4:20, just like that. No medication at all. It was pretty incredible. I mean, like, his labor relative to relative to my first labor experience was, dare I say, easy. It was easy because I didn't have any medication whatsoever. Even as I was pushing, it took 3 pushes to get him out. And honestly, my body just felt like, oh, what's the matter? My body just felt like it knew what to do. It was like a movie, because they wanted a urine sample, I guess, before I got dressed into a nightgown, but I was trying to do it. And I was telling my husband, he was helping me, because I was, contractions were pretty intense by then. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's coming. Like, I can't give a urine sample right now because the baby is coming. And so I rush over to the bed, and I'm, my husband goes to tell my mom, who's there also, go get the doctors, go get the doctor. She thinks he's coming. She thinks the baby's coming. And so like a movie, 8 to 10 people come rushing in. Everyone's getting everything ready. I completely lost or lose sight of my husband and my mom. I don't know where the heck they went. And it was just this chaos of people and medical instruments and all of that. And they were trying to, one of the nurses was trying to get an IV put into my arm, but she couldn't even do it because the baby was already born. That's how crazy it was. And like, recovery was nothing. We stayed overnight. We were gone. We left the next day. I didn't even have to be wheeled out this time around. When we got home, I was up and about. I was cooking. I was crouching over and squatting to clean the floors. Like, recovery was easy. So, man, just completely, totally different experiences. But I have to say, going completely natural was so much better than my experience the first time around getting all the medication. Yeah. Huh, Theo. I am breastfeeding again, exclusively breastfeeding. And then when I went back to work, I'm pumping again, and I'm following exactly how I've shown you in my previous pumping video. Every day is different. Depending on, I guess, my stress levels and my tiredness, I can pump 1/2 ounce in one sitting. I can pump 6 ounces in one sitting. It's variable. And I know some of my coworkers, we have this mother's room in my new job, which I know I'm like totally spoiled that way. It's a really nice mother's room. Oh, you want another one? He's eating Happy Baby Yogis. He loves this stuff. But back at my old job, I had to walk to another building. It took like 5-7 minutes. like rain or shine, I had to walk outside to another building. This time around, the mother's room is literally just a couple of feet from my desk. So it's pretty awesome. It's a clean room. There's a sink and a fridge in there. Like, it's super nice, and very convenient. But anyways, to what I was talking about earlier, there are other mothers that use the room and that pump, and we can see each other's, you know, milk in the fridge. And man, some of my coworkers, I'm like, she gets 10 ounces in one sitting, and I'm like every time. And I'm here struggling, trying to get, you know, at least 3 ounces, you know? So it really, I'm just learning that every mom is different, every baby's different. Like, the worst thing you can do is compare yourself to another mom, especially when it comes to breastfeeding and pumping. Oh no! Don't compare yourself to other moms. There's no way that any mom can be better or worse than the other. Every mom is unique. Every baby is unique. That's one thing that I'm constantly learning. So I think the only difference this time around, I am still using the Surpriiiise, which I do have to say, if you are interested or curious about using Surpriiiise, then you kind of have to experiment with it compared to the regular horns that come with your kit, your pumping kit, because for me, I had to spend a while getting accustomed and used to the Surpriiiise, having my body get used to it, because it's kind of a different setup. So I don't recommend it flat out. I do think you should try to see what body will take or which pump accessory method your body will take to. The difference this time around is I am using with my first child, I was using the Amida pump, which is what I show in the video. This time around, I'm using the Medela or Medela, however your preference to pronounce that name. Everyone has different ways of pronouncing it. I'm using the, what is it? The Medela pumping style. I think that's the one. It's the cube looking one. And I'm not really seeing a huge difference between Amida and Medela or Medela. I think I just like it for aesthetics, to be honest. The pump is a little quieter than the Amida was and a little faster. So if I had to choose, they're both great pumps, but if I had to choose, I'd go with the Medela or Medela. I do have to say, if you're thinking about having a second child, I mean, it's crazy just because you've gone through it once before, so you know what to expect. You know how trying it can be at times, like especially right now. He is teething like crazy, so nobody in the house is sleeping right now. But if you are thinking of having a second child, it's amazing. Like, you think you love your first child, and then your second one comes and your heart just opens up even more, and and you never thought that your heart could expand that much for another child. Is it harder? It's harder in that you just have more to balance, and then it's also making time for your toddler as well. I find that's an adjustment too. Especially, well, in our situation, because we now live on our own, and both my husband and I, we have demanding full-time jobs. So that's kind of been the hard part, is kind of keeping up with spending time with our boys, and also keeping up with the house chores. Like, when do you ever have time to fold laundry? I don't even know, or do the dishes, or you know what I mean? So I would appreciate if you seasoned moms with multiple children, if you could like write advice on how you just get through the day, or what motivates you, or like, you know, just tidbits on how you can get out of the house on time, every time. I put him on the boob. He was getting fussy. Things I've realized with 2 kids versus 1. So hopefully I'll be able to post more. But other than that, I just really just wanted to say thank you. And I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and hopefully see you soon.